Hello, welcome to another Gundam Battle Operation 2 video, and I guess this is the third part, technically, to the space videos. Here we had the initial thoughts on the GMNS Space Type V and the the Gelgu Vertex. And now I'm going to talk about the space update as a whole. The Operation, what do they call it? I gotta go to it now. Operation Star One, which is I guess devs wanting more people to play space, so they did some stuff for space. And for these two matches, I actually have a couple that I'll probably post soon, but these two matches in particular are me playing with Gingerine Zero for the first time after trying a solo match and almost going fuck that. And the second one is me helping King reach his A- rank after I got mine. Or like I think a day after I got the Go Vertex. But yeah, we're playing on the new map on this one, and then excuse me, the next map is Derelict Colony, and yeah, I can say it's there are some issues with the way this update was handled, but I do think it helped a lot. I guess we can talk about the lunar debris map first, and I can say it's a pretty entertaining map. Honestly, I jokingly call it Arctic Space because it is kind of a small map. You can pretty much reach all the bases are just right next to each other. I don't know why there's exactly 5 points. I feel like there should be maybe 4. There doesn't seem to be a reason to have the middle point, at least right now. Maybe they can have the middle point, maybe have some diagonal points facing each other, something like that. Maybe a diagonal kind of Arctic base setup. But yeah, all bases are really close to each other. Not quite sure why, but I do like the way it plays. Honestly, again, I thought it was going to play like Arctic base, but I guess because of just how space works in general, with the different layers, the depth, the z-axis to the experience of space, and maybe because it is bigger than Arctic Base. Maybe I guess I've been seeing a lot of people go right. They do the right tactic, but then they give up halfway, or they start splitting and splintering off. So it looks like it won't be the main tactic, and I think for this map you see me. Actually, I have some recorded. This one, since we spawned on the side where you want to go right, because I wanted to go straight for B, because my tactic for this map is to go for C or B at all times to see what's up ahead. But usually when I'm on the other side of the map, I go for the left side, which would be my right side on this map, if that makes any coherent sense. But yeah, pretty fun map. There's a lot of, I guess like it said in the description for it, there's layers to the map. You got the top layer, which you see above the entire map. It's clear to shoot. Pretty much you just have to hide behind the asteroids if you're being sniped at. If you're a sniper, you can see a lot. Very few places to hide. You have to go to the middle layer. And then for the middle layer is just where you're gonna see a bunch of these asteroids, bigger asteroids, and then the bottom layer is just cluttered, cluttered as fuck. It still has a bunch of asteroids, but yeah, very interesting. Even though we've kind of seen this kind of wreckage asteroid stuff before, but it's nice to have like a different kind of background. You got the moon in the back there, and it's centered around a destroyed ship or 2 destroyed ships. You got the what's it called? The Salamis class ship, it looks like, and then I don't know what the red one is called. Part of me wants to say Musai, but I don't think that's what the name of that ship is. Somebody will probably tell me, but yeah, I like the idea of what it's around. I don't think it's from any particular series. The only thing I can remember off the top of my head is Igloo for some reason, even though there was not this much destruction in it. I know they fought near the moon, but yeah, there I go dying. But yeah, a lot of places to hide. There's some clear tactics you can do here. It seems like if you're rocking a Psychomu system unit or something with incoms, you want to stay, or if you know if you're sniping, you want to stay above the, you want to be on the top layer of the map. Because if you try to fight in the middle layer, you're gonna have a hard time trying to lock onto people, and that can be very troublesome at higher costs. Because you have suits like the O, or I believe the Gaymok, where when they reach low health, it'll be harder to lock onto them anyway. So you don't want to have a double whammy of people dipping between asteroids and you having to lock on really long time to get to them. And hey, I became the ace of this match. Awesome. And yeah, so far I'm really enjoying this map. I guess if you want to introduce ways to play space, I guess this would be one. Usually, you know, Derelict Colony is considered like the close range map. The Dark Space is the big open sniping map. I'm not sure what you would call a resource satellite. This one, I guess you can kind of make it an all-rounder. You got places you can snipe. You have places you can do close range combat. I can make a lot of suits work here, and I'm happy about that. So yeah, this map gets 2 thumbs up. The Lunar Debris map. And then, I guess I can briefly mention the 2 raid types that I've already discussed. The GMNS Space Type V and the Gelgu Vertex, both excellent raid suits. Although I do have an issue with them being ground types, because they did mention they want, I guess mostly the Space Type GMNS more than the Gelgu Vertex, but they did mention they wanted more people to play Space in the dev blog for this update, and then they made 2 suits that are both ground and space. So you kind of defeated the purpose of wanting people to play more space. If you're making your new suits that everybody's excited for usable on the ground, it'd be fine if they just made the Jagan the space only, because it is called the Space Type, and then have the, I say Jagan, it's a GM Nightseeker, and then you have the Gelgu Vertex be both ground and space. That'd be fine setup. But you know, I guess they just they knew that not a lot of people would spend money for a space only, but it's like, well, I mean, you gotta get some people in there, and well, I guess they kind of did, because they did make some improvements for space. One of them is they gave almost all the mobile suits with space compatibility, they gave them AMBAC level 1. And then for the suits that don't have AMBAC level 1, the suits that already had AMBAC level 1, they gave them AMBAC level 2, and I believe what that does is not only can you have the usual abilities of AMBAC, but you turn faster as well, which can be really useful for some suits like, I guess, the Gundam or other space like Mark II, any suits that already had AMBAC. The only 2 suits that don't get it is the O and the Saikamu Test Zaku. I believe that was the name of that one, the raid type. The O, because it already has an ability that gives it AMBAC, and then I forgot the reason for the Saikamu. It was probably the same reason where it has an ability that gives it to it, and hey, mission complete. We'll see what we got going on here real fast. Hey, top individual score, 9,000. That's pretty damn good. Gonna praise some my teammates here. Mostly just Ginger and Zero. The other 2 did alright as well. And yeah, first place, 8-2, not bad at all. Almost got to B+ there. And then the second match is me doing the Zusa. I already explained, helping King get to his A- rank, with Mick helping as well. Zusa's really good in Derelict Colony, by the way, which the Zusa is one of those suits that benefited heavily from the AMBAC being given to it. It's one of those suits that didn't have it. And it's funny because I believe in my Zusa initial thoughts way back then, I said it made no sense why this thing didn't have AMBAC, because as you can see, its limbs have boosters on it, and it has a giant rocket on it. Which I know AMBAC, I think, mostly affects the limbs, but you can see on its legs it has boosters. So it didn't have AMBAC, which was weird for me. But yeah, they gave it AMBAC, and it helps out a lot. I do think it's funny because I was going to make a Zusa video in space using it in Derelict Colony and talking about how good it was anyway. I had a match recorded because it is pretty good in space. I wouldn't recommend using it in dark space, but now it got buffed to where I think you can probably use it better in dark space. I still wouldn't recommend it, but it makes it, using it in Derelict Colony, still really good, even better. So it's one of those suits that definitely benefited from getting Ambac, and I know there's a ton of suits that benefited from it as well. I believe, yeah, almost every suit that can be usable in space. So that includes low-cost suits. So low-cost should be a lot more, I guess you could say, faster paced. They're not as fast, obviously, as suits that are above their costs. But it can still make it more interesting because you can do combos now, I guess, where if you're using something like the basic Zaku, and I guess if it has balancers, something like that. I'm trying to remember if it did or not. So you can downswing somebody, go into Ambac, repair another downswing. It can be a bit faster, you know what I mean? So that's good. And then also there is a change in the radar, where now there's a depth indication on your radar. And this goes for ground and space, where if somebody is below you, their icon is darker, and if somebody is above you, their icon is lighter. And if they're at ground level, they're the same as they were before. And for some reason, they made it to where you could switch it to the original way it was, where it wasn't lighter or darker at all. Which, why would you do that? Why am I dog barking? Stop. I guess he's one of those guys that uses it normally. But, yeah, I don't know why you do that, because that would put you at a disadvantage, because you wouldn't know if somebody's above you or below you, unless you had to physically turn and look. Yeah, that's great. Then they changed the thruster consumption to 0 for high-speed movements for pilots in space maps, which I don't really do pilots that much in space unless I'm capturing a point. I don't really try to fly from one point to another. But, oh man, poor Dryson. But yeah, that was a nice change, I guess. And then we can talk about the unit adjustments, which I believe can be mentionable here. For one, they changed the Zeta Gundam. They increased its HP from 17,500 to 18,500. And then changed the combat correction from 25 to 30. I'm not sure what that means, the combat correction. They did buff its armed grenade launcher from reload from 10 seconds to 8 seconds. And level 2 damage was increased from 525 to 600. So I guess that's a neat little upgrade to the Zeta. And then for the Zeta Transformed, it gets the same buffs. And then for the regular Gundam, which I'm happy about this, the regular Gundam has its unit HP increased from 14,000 to 15,000, which is nice. And the thruster increased from 55 to 60. And then its turn speed is from 57 to 60. And then the beam rifle, which is really where I'm liking it, is the focusing was shortened from 5 seconds to 2 seconds. That makes the beam rifle really good because you can get your stun pretty fucking fast. For the regular beam rifle, not for the napalm, super napalm, which is sad because I don't know why they would make it the same. Because now the beam rifle almost seems like it would be better because you're doing more damage, and you can get your stun faster. The super napalm, I don't know. You do get the charge for the super napalm, and you do get a instant stun, but it is slow and doesn't do that much damage. It doesn't even burn over time like other stuff that includes napalm or flames. So for me, I think I might start using the regular beam rifle more. So that's awesome. Unit was increased. Then the Kapul got buffed, which I'm happy about. I didn't think the Kapul was suffering at all, but I guess it had been. Looking at the win rate, I guess they're looking for exactly 50% win rate because this thing only has 48.7 on the level 1 and 48.5, so it's 2 below, which I guess maybe that's significant to the team. They changed its turning speed from 60 to 63, and they increased its left and right movement speed. Fine with that. And then the missile pods, they changed from 10 seconds to 8 seconds in reload time. And they expanded the range of the ASL and the laser beam, so I guess I'm fine with that. The Gundam ground type got a lot of stuff on it. The unit HP increased from 11,500 to 12,500. Then, of course, the higher the level, it increases as well. The thruster increased from 55 to 60. And then it gained the enhanced tackle level 1. Yeah, they got the enhanced tackle level 1, which can combine with its shield tackle. So it can probably do a lot of damage when it tackles somebody. The Unit 1 mid-range slots increased from 9 to 10. And the long-range slots from 4 to 6. And, of course, when it levels up, it goes up by 1 for every level. So that's nice. Yeah, for every slot except for short. Oh no, so short's also increased. And yeah, and of course it seems like the Gundam ground type was suffering pretty hard at higher cost because level 5 at 500. There's definitely a lot better generals you can pick. It's not a bad suit, but it's just there's more you can do with other suits, more damage wise and all that. The DJ SER got buffed, which is the DJ that has the overboost. The HP increased from 18,000 to 19,000, and then it had combat resistance correction increased from 18 to 25. I think that's melee resistance, and then the short range, the short slots. It has a short range part slots increased from 11 to 13. So pretty minor, but that's fine. DJSER players won't be complaining. The Zuda F got an increased turn speed from 51 to 57. And it gained the... Oh, hey, before that timeout, we gotta see what we got first, because it is a mission complete. And we'll see what we got going on here. Hey, I got shot the most, so... Mick and King did really well, and hey, third place, 4 and 3, not too bad at all. And you can see I have my A- rank there. Yeah, Zeus is really good in Derelict Colony. You can do some pretty dirty things sometimes. But yeah, it gained melee combat controller level 1, so now it can do 2 swings, which I don't know why, because a lot of people just do the heavy stagger and they go for a downswing, and then they go for another downswing. So I guess they want to incentivize, they want to get people to do more than just a downswing, but like that's kind of the optimal thing you want to do. So, and again, apparently it was suffering by only 2 points, 48.2 on the 400 cost and 450, 48.1. But I guess that's significant to the devs. The Red Rider got buffed. Imagine that. It was getting kind of dude on. I think it's a great raid, but I think a lot of people play it wrong. They like to rush with it, and then yeah, unit HP was increased from 13,000 to 14,000. Maneuver armor, no, they gave it maneuver armor level 2 instead of 1, and they increased the assault booster from level 1 to level 3. And then they reduced the charge on the Zweihander heavy attack from 3 seconds to 2.5, so 0.5 seconds. I guess that's a big deal. And yeah, they're talking about how since it was often seen that they were stranded and destroyed before approaching the enemy aircraft. It's not that they've been stranded, it's just that they like to run forward and fucking die. You might want to rephrase that. But yeah, oh wow, yeah, okay, at 400 it had a 47.2 win rate, and at 450 a 47.5 win rate. So actually it did better slightly at 450 than 400, maybe because I guess there's more Zuda Fs prevalent, and since supports are more prevalent at 450, it probably had a better chance to fight them. Especially since stuff like the Zoc is out. The Zoc can't handle a Red Rider too much. The Full Armor Gundam Thunderbolt, which is a good buff for it. It has the shield stance skill on it. So that means when its shield gets destroyed, they keep moving. They don't get staggered. And the thing is, the Full Armor Gundam has multiple shields. So you can see why that's a really good buff. So it can't get staggered no matter how many shields gets destroyed on it. And because, its turn speed gets increased, that can be really good. And, well, speaking of turn speed, the turn speed has been enhanced on it even when it has a shield anyway. So, yeah. So it's going to be turning faster even with its shields, and it's going to be turning even faster when it gets rid of those shields. And it had a 47.1 win rate at 500, 550, 47.3. Again, doing slightly better at 550. The GPO4 got buffed, which is nice. That's a really good support. Unit in HP increased from 13,000 to 14,000. The heat rate on the long-range rifle went from 80% to 75%, and they increased the accumulated value of the stagger. So I guess if you hit somebody's shield, you can throw in something else, or if you're fighting a shock dampener suit, you can throw in something else, and it'll increase the stagger, or help with the stagger. And yeah, speaking of the GPO4 beam rifle, increased from 600 damage to 700 damage, and that goes higher with every level. It seems like at 550, 600, it had a 48% win rate, and then at 650, it dipped to 46, which I guess makes sense at 650. There's a lot better supports around. And then I guess the rest of this is talking about how a lot of the every suit that can sword in space, besides Saikamu System Zaku and the O, can have AMBAC. Which, yeah, that's wonderful. That's the unit adjustments. And, honestly, the update's not too half bad. I think they could have done a lot better in incentivizing. Is that the word I'm looking for? Does that word even exist? I guess they could have done a lot better in wanting to get more people to play space. Because it seems like they want people to play more space, but... Well, the AMBAC helps out tremendously for a lot of suits. It helps out for lower cost. I do not like to play below 450 space. So maybe I can play below that more, so that'll be much appreciated. And then of course, I don't agree with both or at least the space type being it says space type and it can be usable on the ground, so it's like, okay, well, you want people to play space. so why make it usable on the ground? Same with the Gelgoog, which you have to do a bunch of stuff. You have to win a lot of space battles, and you have to get to A- rating, and you know what? You're going to be using the Gelgoog Vertex on the ground. But, maybe since they forced a lot of people to play, I say forced, a lot of people want the Gelgoog Vertex, so maybe since they got so many people to play space, maybe they're hoping a lot of people liked playing space. But the problem is when you force a lot of people, I keep saying they forced them, but they're not. People force themselves to play space. They're going to hate it. They're going to be playing randoms they don't want to be playing with. And of course, space is a bit different than on the ground, and they might not just get used to it, most people just play space whenever they get tokens for it. Maybe they're planning on rolling out more space-only suits. I doubt it because both these suits are usable on the ground. But they could have done something for suits-wise. I guess it's funny that I think the only suit... Actually, no, the FB is usable in space only, and so is the... I was about to say the GM Interceptor was the only suit that can be used in space, but yeah, the GPO-1 FB can be usable in space, only in space as well. The Bawu can be used on the ground in space, and so is the Gelgoog Vertex, which, it's great that they gave out the Bawu, because that's a suit a lot of people wanted, and I think I have a few friends that actually just wanted to get the Bawu, and they didn't care about the Gelgoog Vertex, which good on them. Bawu is a good suit as well. But yeah, the Vertex is it's worth it. Both the raid type suits they gave out are worth it, in my opinion. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe if you want. I'd really appreciate it. And, type up in the comment section what you feel about the Operation Star 1. Do you like it? Do you hate it? What'd you think about the update? Go ahead and just tell me in the comment section. I liked it so far. I think I like the new map. I have actually been trying to get more space matches. If you've seen some of my past matches, I've been trying to do a little bit more space, because I am starting to enjoy it more with the more suits they release. I mean, in my really, really honest opinion, they should have just made space super fast. Because you ever watch like some of the original Gundam episodes where they're going really fast in space, and then you like watch later like more modern shows, and the 1 Year War suits move like fucking molasses. And I guess it's supposed to show how much faster the modern suits are, but yeah, I wish the lower cost would move really fast. I would make space really different from the ground if I could. I'd make it to where people have AMPAC, force injectors, they can do a bunch of crazy shit, make it really fast. But they probably wouldn't. Not a lot of people would probably like that idea because it'd be so different from the ground. Maybe less people would be playing space than they already are. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.